Kamala Harris and Donald Trump will face each other in their first and possible only televised debate ahead of the election in November. The last presidential debate in July was a train wreck for President Joe Biden and eventually led to him dropping out of the race against Trump and endorsing Harris. So as America gears up for the next big twist in the elections, the stakes could not be higher for both nominees. Before Harris became vice president, she served as the Attorney General of California and then the state's junior senator. The debate could allow her to deliver on her promise to voters that she will prosecute the case against Trump. Given her political history, Kamala Harris appears to be well positioned to make that case. And as she demonstrated in the vice presidential debate against Mike Pence in October 2020, Harris refuses to be steamrolled.
The vice president is the head of the task force and knew on January 28th how serious this was. And then thanks to Bob Woodward, we learned that they knew about it. And then when that was exposed, the vice president said, when asked, well, why didn't y'all tell anybody? He said, because the president wanted people to remain calm.
Well, let's get
but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I want to add,
here.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I'm
speaking.
Each candidate's microphone will only be live for when it is their turn to speak and muted when the time belongs to the other candidate. Harris's campaign reluctantly agreed to this rule, but the vice president may still do all she can to ensure that Trump is rattled. Her team is hoping that if Trump behaves badly as he did in the 2020 debate against Biden, it will cost him support.
You shut up, man.
Listen, I think
this is so unprecedented.
He's going to pack the court. We have not going to give a list. We have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really productive.
Donald Trump has been on a presidential debate stage 6 times already. And if there's one thing that Trump understands well, it's television audiences. During the 90-minute debate, Trump is expected to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Harris. From calling her comrade Kamala to blaming her for every bad thing that's happened in California in the last 20 years and holding her responsible for every policy failure of the Biden administration.
Over the past 4 years, Kamala and crooked Joe Biden have presided over an economic reign of terror, committing one financial atrocity after another. As Vice President, Kamala cast the deciding votes that caused the worst inflation in American history. You're all victims of it. We all are. Everybody is a victim of it.
But Trump will have to tread carefully during the debate against Harris. If he comes across as domineering or belittling, he could further damage his already weak support among female voters. Since Biden dropped out, Kamala Harris has managed to transform the 2024 election. She has unified her party, branded herself as a fresh voice of generational change, and closed into a dead heat with Trump in polls. But is that enough to cement her victory?
In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious.
Even though Kamala Harris has been vice president for more than 3.5 years and a candidate for president for the last 7 weeks, she is still a relatively unknown figure for most Americans. The debate will give her an opportunity to flesh out her vision in front of millions, but that doesn't come without risks.
When I'm back in the White House, we will expel the warmongers, the profiteers, and take over our government. And we will restore world peace, and it will be again peace through strength.
For Trump, the debate presents an opportunity to wrest back the momentum in this campaign after a month where the Democrats have dominated the political headlines. Giving him a boost ahead of the debate is a New York Times Siena poll, which shows Trump leading Harris by 48% to 47%, with a 3-point margin of error. The result may reflect a shift back towards Trump in the final leg of the election. Trump has a history of thriving in the spotlight and setting the terms of political conversations that tend to rattle his opponents. His positions on issues like immigration and trade have broad popular support. The 2024 presidential campaign has been full of tumult, but American voters are still very much sharply divided. That underscores the importance of the debate, where even small shifts in the mood of the electorate could be the difference between victory and defeat for the candidates.